Let me just check I don't have lipstick on my teeth. No. What do we think about this lipstick, by the way? Do you think it washes me out? I'm not sure. I thought I'd try it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for a brand new video, and in today's video I'm actually filming a Q&A for you, which I'm really excited about. Basically, recently on my channel I just hit 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Thank you so much to everyone who is subscribed. I just can't even comprehend that, like 2,000 people. I don't even know 2,000 people. Does anyone? I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. It means so much to me and I'm so grateful. But yeah, to celebrate hitting 2,000 subscribers, I thought I would do a little Q&A, and I asked for questions on my community tab on my YouTube channel, and I was really surprised because I literally thought I wouldn't get any questions. I was so nervous to put up the post because I was just like, this is going to be so embarrassing, no one's going to ask me a question. But I actually got like 35 questions, which is really great. Thanks so much to everyone that asked a question. I'm going to try and answer every single one in this video. However, a lot of them were quite similar. I was really shocked as well because I literally thought if I got any questions they would literally just be about true crime, which a lot of them were. However, a lot of them were just like wanting to know a bit more about me, which was really nice because I didn't think anyone would care. But yeah, I also thought I'd quickly say, you might have noticed my background's changed, although I think a video should have gone up by the time this goes up that has this background anyway, so this is kind of like old news. But I didn't mention it in that video because it was a true crime video, but my background has kind of slightly changed. Some people might not have noticed because it is very similar to my old background. But basically I used to film my videos in my room, but my room isn't that big, and now that I've got a ring light and a tripod and stuff like that, I just don't really have the room to keep that stuff in my actual bedroom. And so my mum was just like, do you want to set up a little thing in the garage, because we have a garage and no one uses it. So I was just like, okay. Only thing is, I film most of my videos at night, and obviously most of my videos are true crime videos, so I'm filming in my garage at night and I'm talking about murder, and then I have to walk back to my house in the pitch black, which isn't far, but still, it's scary.
Hello?
Come on, sit down next to me so we can see you. Yeah, just come like here. Ow, don't...
What? You sit on the chair.
Right. I'm dog sitting right now, and this dog next to us absolutely stinks. Lara, lie down. Lie down, Lara. Okay, I've got my little brother in for the first question because it's kind of to do with him. Do you want to read it?
Choc Lover says, please tell us more about your life, significant other, parents, siblings.
And Jacob also left a question. This is Jacob, by the way. He also... Did I say that?
Yeah.
Jacob also left a question saying favourite sibling. So I thought we'd answer this question together because he's always desperate to me in my videos. So siblings, this is Jacob. He's the youngest sibling. We're one of 2 of 5. So yeah, we're 2 of 5 siblings. I have 2 older sisters and 2 younger brothers, one of which is Jacob. Jacob's actually the youngest and I'm the middle child. And who's your favourite sibling?
God, it's a toughie, you know.
You ain't gonna say me. One thing you should know is actually me and Jacob didn't like each other for a very long time. Come in a bit closer. I'm sorry, I'm worried he's not in shot. I can't actually see because I don't have a viewfinder, but yeah. Yeah, me and Jacob didn't like each other for quite a long time. We just never used to get on. But I would say in the last year we get on a lot better, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Jacob thinks it's because of the Wii.
It is because of the Wii.
Because I brought a Wii like a year ago. When did I actually buy the Wii? I brought a Wii anyway.
It was in November.
Was it?
Mm.
Well, I brought a Wii. And he thinks ever since then we've become closer because we played the Wii together, although he hasn't played with me in a very long time. Yeah, one thing I will say about Jacob is he's probably my biggest supporter of my videos. He watches every single one of my videos. Compared to my family, I don't think anyone else actually watches them, do they? No, I don't think anyone else watches them except for Jacob. He'll watch every single one of my videos. He knows my disclaimer off by heart. Same with disclaimer.
Quick before I get into the case, I'll just like to point out that... Well, you have to tell me and then I'll say.
No!
Have I left out something that is important to the case? Please leave it in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into today's case.
Yeah, that's our siblings. I'll try and get the others in on a video at some point, although I don't think they will. I don't know.
I don't think it will.
Will. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that part featuring Jacob, one of my siblings, and now let's get into the rest of the questions. Okay, so the next question is there a case that you will never cover and why? To be honest, I don't think so. I wouldn't ever cover a case to do with like a school shooting or anything like that, I don't think, just because I don't really want to. That doesn't sit right with me. I have been requested to cover a case about a school shooting before and I just don't want to do that. So those kind of cases I don't think I would ever do. But I feel like there's quite a few true crime YouTubers who say like, oh, I wouldn't cover the Madeleine McCann case or the JonBenét Ramsey case or the OJ Simpson case because they're just so well known, but I wouldn't not cover a case because it was well known. Like on my channel, I like to do a variety of cases. I like to do well-known cases and I also like to do cases that are not known so that they get more kind of coverage. Even though I've only got 2,000 subscribers, that's still 2,000 people who are finding out about a case that they might not have heard of. But I wouldn't not cover a case because it was well known. So for example, the Madeleine McCann case, I've actually covered that case. It was the first true crime video I did on my channel. It's still live, but it's probably really bad. I haven't watched it since I set it live, I don't think, but that was the first video I did. And I am considering covering the JonBenét Ramsey case soon because that case is really interesting to me. Even though a lot of people know about it, I still want to cover it because I find it really interesting. So I think I will cover that soon. But yeah, so is there a case I will never cover and why? Yes, cases to do with school shootings I won't cover, but in terms of like well-known cases, no, I wouldn't not cover them just because they were well known, if that makes sense. But having said that, like I said, I do like to cover the lesser known cases as well so that they get a bit more coverage and attention. The next question is, can you tell us about your pets and introduce them please? So in a lot of my true crime videos you can see my dogs in the background because they love to sit on my bed. You probably won't see them anymore because like I said at the start of the video, my filming setup has changed so they can't really be in the background of this setup. I've actually got a dog sat at the end of this sofa right now, which obviously you can't see, but it's not one of my dogs. I'm actually dog sitting right now, so yeah. But yeah, I have 3 dogs. I have a husky called Red who is 8 years old, I believe. I'll put their pictures on screen. I also have a Jack Russell called Maisie who is 14 years old, and I also have a chocolate Labrador called Cooper who is 12 years old. Cooper is the only one that we've had from a pup and I absolutely love her to bits. She's honestly my world. And the other 2 we kind of like inherited / adopted, so yeah. Would you consider doing a serial killer series, maybe a longer video on one once a month, going in depth to their life, trying to figure out what makes them tick? I also had another question, I think, about a serial killer. Oh yeah, who is the most fascinating serial killer to you? So yes, I would consider doing a serial killer series. I definitely want to make a video on a serial killer sometime soon. And yeah, I would definitely make it into a series. Only thing is, we need a name for the series, but I'm not clever and I can't come up with one. So if anyone has any ideas for a series about serial killers that we could do on my channel, let me know. I don't really want to call it like Serial Killer Saturday or Serial Killer Sunday just because there's no way that I would be able to do one every single week. I think it would have to be like a once a month thing because serial killer cases are the cases that take the longest to research. So there's absolutely no way I could do one once a week. But if anyone has any idea for names, like I said, let me know in the comments. And who is the most fascinating serial killer to you? So one serial killer that I've been reading a lot into lately is Richard Ramirez. I'm just really interested in his like whole, just him, like he creeps me out. He is probably one of the scariest serial killers that I've ever read about, and I'm considering doing a video on him hopefully soon, maybe in the next month, so maybe that will be the first episode in my serial killer series. Let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, him, Jeffrey Dahmer is one that I find really fascinating. Fred and Rose West, I definitely want to do a video about them at some point because their whole case is just so insane to me and I definitely want to cover it on my channel at some point, like I said. But yeah, like I said, I definitely want to do a serial killer series on my channel, so if anyone has any name ideas for the series, let me know. The next question is, what's your favourite true crime channel? So to be honest, I don't really watch that many true crime channels just because I have a true crime channel, and so if I watched loads of other people's true crime videos, I feel like my whole life would just be consumed by true crime. Obviously, I have all of my true crime friends who are absolutely amazing, and I watch their videos where I can. They are all incredible and they make such good content. But two true crime YouTubers that come to mind that every single time I see their video in my sub box, I literally want to watch it straight away is number one, Daughter of Remus, Kirsty, who is one of my great YouTube friends. She's absolutely lovely. My favourites of her videos are definitely the Doe Files, and she knows this. She knows I absolutely love her Doe File episodes. They are so interesting and I look forward to them every single time. And another true crime YouTube channel that I absolutely love is Dark Curiosities. Honestly, when I came across her videos, I was so like blown away because I'd never seen any true crime YouTuber present true crime videos in the way that she does. She has such a unique style and I absolutely love it. So definitely check out both of their channels. I will link them in the description if you want to check them out. But yeah, they are amazing. Okay, so I had a few questions quite similar to this one that said, what/who encouraged your interest in true crime? And I think I had another one like, what case got you interested in true crime? To be honest, I don't really know what got me so interested in true crime. I think I've just always been interested. I remember growing up I was always pretty interested. I always used to watch NCIS with my sister, and I used to watch like crime shows with my mum. I love horror films as well, so I feel like that probably has something to do with it. I mean, I don't like gory horror films, I like ghosty horror, so that's kind of like in the same kind of genre, I suppose. I can't say that word. Genre. But yeah, I think I've always just been interested, but I think the case that got me really interested in true crime is probably the O.J. Simpson case. As soon as I heard about that case, I was so interested and I wanted to know every single little bit of detail there was to know about it. I've watched so many documentaries on the case. I've watched series on it. There's a great series on Netflix about the O.J. Simpson case called The People vs. O.J. Simpson. Honestly, it's one of my favourite series ever. If you haven't watched it, definitely give it a watch. It is so good. I think I've pretty much watched the whole O.J. Simpson trial on YouTube multiple times. I'm just so interested in that case. I love discussing it with people. I love hearing people's opinions. And that is, I think, 100% the case that got me really interested in true crime. And I definitely want to do a video on it one day. Only thing is, it is really well known, which is kind of contradicting everything that I said earlier about, oh, I would not cover a case because it was so well known. But, oh my God, it would be such a long video. I think it would have to be in like 2, maybe 3 parts because it would be so long. There's so much that you need to know about the case. But if you want to see that, hopefully soon, then let me know in the comments. Okay, speaking of Daughter of Remus, she actually asked me a few questions. So the first one was, if you're investigating any unsolved true crime case in history, which would you most like to be solved? And as soon as I read this question, I 100% knew my answer. 100% the Elisa Lam case. I covered that case maybe like 2 months ago now, and oh my God, as soon as I read about that case, I was just like, what? I just want to know what happened so much. I want to know what happened to Elisa. If you haven't heard about that case or you haven't watched that video, please go and watch it. It's such an interesting case and I just desperately want to know what happened, like desperately. I'll link it up there in the iCard if you want to see it. But honestly, like I said, it's just a crazy case. And the next question from Daughter of Remus is, if you were stuck on a desert island and you could bring one person with you, dead or alive, who would it be? Do you know what? I don't know. I feel like I'd probably just say my mum. Not that I think she could get us out of the situation, but I just feel like I'd want my mum there with me. I know this says one person, but I feel bad for not saying my dad, so you too, Dad. The next question was actually a really interesting one, and it says, why do you think some people become serial killers? Okay, so I feel like there's always like 2 kind of theories surrounding this like thing. So I think that people either believe that 1, serial killers are just born with something abnormal and they're just born to become serial killers, or 2, something in their life happens which triggers them to become serial killers. And I 100% believe the second one. I don't believe that people are just born to kill or... Oh God, that scared me. It was my timer. But yeah, I definitely think that something must have happened in a serial killer's life, like an event, or if they've had like a weird brush with death that kind of triggers something in their brain and they then go on to murder loads of people. But also, if you read up on quite a few serial killers, you'll get to learn that a lot of them have had head injuries in their past at some point, whether that be when they were a child or an adult or whenever, and then after that they've gone on to kill loads of people. And I definitely think that has something to do with it. I think once they've had like a head injury or head like trauma, something like switches in their brain and they have a desire to murder loads of people for some reason. Obviously I'm not saying that everyone with a head injury then has a desire to become a serial killer. It's just a really interesting fact, that, I think. The same person also asked, would you want to have a career in police/detective work? And I also got a really similar question to that, I think. One sec. The other question that was kind of similar to that says, if you could pick a job within law enforcement, anything from detective, forensic psychologist, crime scene cleaner, etc., what would it be and why? So I would love to have a career in like one of those areas, but to be honest, I don't think I'm smart enough to do something like that. I would love to be, but I don't think I am. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say like a criminologist or something. I would love to be a criminologist. I just think that is such an interesting job, or something like that. I don't know. I have considered in the past looking into having a career in like the police force, but again, I don't know if I would be any good at it, so I don't know. The next question is, just tell us a little bit about your hobbies, if you're a student/working, basically random facts that can help us get to know you. And I also had a fairly similar question to that said, what do you do when you aren't making a video? So my hobbies, okay, I like walking my dogs, I like singing, I love musicals, I love Disney, I love true crime, obviously. And am I a student/working? I'm not a student. I didn't go to university. I'm self-employed. I'm actually a dog walker/dog sitter. I'm sitting a dog right now. I think I said that at the start of the video, but I'm looking after someone else's dog right now who is literally sat on the other end of this sofa asleep. But yeah, I'm currently self-employed. I've had quite a few customer service jobs/retail jobs in the past, which I'm actually considering doing a story time on. If you want to see that, let me know. But I hated them so much. I had such horrible experiences in some of them. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying being kind of self-employed and doing what I'm doing at the minute, walking dogs, which I absolutely love, and doing my true crime videos, which doesn't actually give me any money at the minute because YouTube have not monetized my channel yet. It's a little bit of a sore subject, so I'm not going to go into it. The next question is, which case was the most heartbreaking for you to research? And I also had another very similar question that said, which cases stick with you? So 100%, I said this in the video, but 100% the case that has stuck with me the most, I think, is the Banaz Mahmood case. I covered that case maybe almost like 2 months ago now, and even now I still think about it regularly. Something about that case just really stuck with me, and I think I actually started crying in that video at the end. Honestly, how I didn't cry throughout the whole video, I do not know, because throughout the whole research of that case, I must have cried, I don't know how many times, honestly. But there was just something about that case. I think the reason that it really stuck with me is because I now am the same age as Banaz was when she was murdered, and I think that's why it kind of resonated with me, because I could not imagine being in the situation that Banaz was in for the last few months before her death. What she went through was so horrific and so scary, and I could not imagine it. So yeah, definitely that one. I think that case has probably been the hardest for me to research. If you haven't seen that, I will link it up there. Another case that I have done recently that has really stuck with me is the Daniel Palka case. That one is really sad. Also one that I literally covered last week, which was the Philpott fire. That case really stuck with me. Honestly, I get affected by all of the cases. I feel like a lot of true crime YouTubers always say that they're quite good at like detaching themselves from the case and taking themselves out of the case. I don't know if that makes sense, so that they don't get too upset, but honestly, I am not good at that. I get upset by every single case that I research. I cry a lot when I'm researching the cases, and how I don't cry in every single case like that I cover, I don't know, because I do get really upset, but at the same time I'm so interested that I don't want to let that stop me from covering it. Obviously, if a case affects me that much, then I wouldn't cover it just for my own mental health, but honestly, I was so close to not covering the Banaz Mahmood case because it was getting me so down. But I kind of took a step back. I had a little break from the research and I got back into it, and I did do the case, and I'm really happy that I did, because Banaz's story deserves to get told. So, but yeah, like I said, every single case that I cover affects me. I get upset by every single one. But yeah, at the same time, like I said, I'm really interested in them. So, and I really enjoy covering them. So yeah. The next question is, what's your zodiac sign and do you believe in that astrology stuff? So my zodiac sign is Gemini. And do I believe in it? I don't really know. I don't not believe in it, and I don't do believe in it. I just don't know much about it, to be honest. But I do think I'll have a little read into that a little bit more because I am really intrigued. So yeah. The next question is, if you could live during any time period, what would it be? I think I would probably say like the 1970s because that's the time period that my parents grew up in. So I'd be really interested to see what life was like when they were growing up. The next question is, would you ever consider starting a podcast? If so, what would it be about? And would you do it solo or have multiple hosts / narrators? And I also got another question about a podcast. I think it was like, what are your favourite true crime podcasts or something? Oh yeah, do you listen to any true crime podcasts? So I actually don't. I don't really listen to that many podcasts, to be honest. And I don't think I've ever listened to a true crime one. Just because I'm not the biggest podcast fan. I watch a few podcasts, but honestly not that many. And I don't watch any relating to true crime. One podcast that I do watch quite often is the Imagination Getting Lippy With podcast. I absolutely love Imogen. I think she's an amazing YouTuber, and I watch that occasionally. She does podcasts about like relationships, friendships, just loads of different topics, and I find them really interesting. But honestly, other than that, I don't really watch any, so I don't think I would start a podcast because, like I said, I don't really watch them, so I don't see the point in me starting one. However, having said that, I would love to be a guest on one day. No one will probably want me on there, but I think it'd be really cool. The next person said, I just subbed yesterday. My question is, how old are you? Lol. So I'm actually 20 years old. A lot of people always think I'm younger. I had one of my sister's friends come over the other day to our house and he literally thought I was 14 years old. And I was just like, no, I'm 20. It was kind of embarrassing, but then I also know that later in life that will probably be like a blessing. I feel like in my videos I might come across as older because obviously I'm talking about like true crime. I have to be like professional, so maybe I come across as older in my videos. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought. What? That didn't make sense. Let me know how old you thought I was when you first started watching my videos, because I'm really intrigued. The next question is, what would your dream job be? And honestly, I do not have a clue. I have never known what I've wanted to do, and I used to really let it stress me out. Like in school, I felt like I was surrounded by people who all of my friends, I felt like all knew what they wanted to do when they were older, and I felt like they all had career paths, and I've never felt like I've had a career path. Honestly, it changes every single week. One week I want to do this, one week I want to do that. I never ever have known exactly what I wanted to do. Like I said earlier, at the minute I'm doing like dog sitting and dog walking, and I'm really enjoying that because I love dogs. So possibly something with dogs / animal care because I love animals so much. But honestly, I don't know. That will probably change in like a few weeks. We don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there's such a pressure, especially on young people, to know what they want to do when they're older. I feel like so much pressure is put on you in school to have a career path and know exactly what you want to do, but that's just not realistic. I used to get so down about it. I literally used to cry to my mum on countless occasions because I felt like there was such a pressure to know what I wanted to do, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. It's only really recently that I've been really trying to not put that pressure on myself. Obviously, I still have days where I like freak out and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But honestly, at the moment, I'm just kind of taking each day as it comes, and yeah. Sorry, I feel like I went off on a bit of a tangent to that question, which was a really simple question, but in short, I have no bloody clue what my dream job would be. Like I said, it literally changes every single week. So the next question is, what is the most interesting case you have found, and what is one case you want to make a video on? So like I said earlier, one case I want to do hopefully soon on my channel is the Richard Ramirez case. That's a serial killer case, and I really want to cover that soon. That is one case that I've been reading up on recently, like I said, that I'm so like interested in and fascinated by, so definitely that case. The next question says, hi Molly, you're an excellent narrator. In your videos you always come across as very confident, knowledgeable and interesting. Do you have some sort of training in public speaking? And when I read this question I was just like, wow, someone thinks I'm trained in public speaking. I could not think of anything worse than speaking in public. Like, the only reason I can do this now is because technically I'm not speaking to 2,000 people, I'm speaking to a camera, so that's kind of what I tell myself. But honestly, even if you asked me to like speak in front of like 3 people, I don't think I'd be able to do it. I would be a nervous wreck. I'm actually a really shy person. I don't know if shy is the right word. I'm not good at all in social situations. I have very bad social anxiety. And so, no, I could never do that. I'm not trained in public speaking. Okay, and I think the last question is, what's one case you have or haven't covered that you wish had more media support and visibility? That is a really interesting question. I think out of the cases that I have covered, I would probably say the Delphi murders, because that case happened in 2017 and is still unsolved. And basically, if you haven't watched this case, 2 young girls called Abby and Libby were murdered on the Delphi historic trails in Indiana. And it's still unsolved. It happened in 2017, like I said, and it's still unsolved. And honestly, I'm just waiting and praying for the day that we finally get the update that the killer has been found. That is one of the cases that actually, I don't know why I didn't mention that earlier, but that is one of the cases that has stuck with me a lot because, like I said, it happened really recently. It only happened 2 years ago, and so I think about it a lot because I just want that killer, that horrible person, to be found. But yeah, probably that case. I just think the more media coverage with that case, the better, because we need to find who killed Abby and Libby. Yeah, that is pretty much it for this Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone that asked me a question. I really enjoyed filming this video, and I'm definitely going to do more Q&As in the future. So if that is something that you want to see, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. And like I said at the start of the video, let's try and come up with a name for my new serial killer series on this channel because I am not creative and I can't think of one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon for another video. Bye!